So question 10 says, find the product. So remember, product kind of means to multiply. So product is the answer to a multiplication problem. So that's how we have a binomial times a binomial. We have a two-termed expression times a two-termed expression. Again, if you want to use what's called the area model or the box method, you can draw yourself a little box. And the x and the 5 would go on one edge, and the x and a -3 would go on the other edge. And this would model what we call the distributive property. So I can multiply this x through the parentheses. So I have x times x is going to be x squared. X times -3 is going to be -3x. And then the 5 goes through the top two terms as well. 5 times x is going to be 5x. And 5 times -3 is -15. So if we note there, we do have some like terms as well. So the inside terms here are going to be alike. So our answer is going to be then the x squared is going to come down. 5x and a -3x is going to be a positive 2x. And then the -15 comes in. So this turns into a trinomial x squared plus 2x minus 15. So the degree 2 is also called a quadratic term. So the x squared is the quadratic. The 2x is what's called a linear term, and the -15 is considered our constant. Now, another way to do it is what's called FOIL. FOIL is an acronym to help us remember the pattern to multiplying a binomial times a binomial. So we have x plus 5 times x minus 3. So using the pattern, the f in FOIL stands for the first terms of each binomial. So you want to multiply the x times the x together. That's going to be what's called the first terms. And that's going to give us then this x squared. And then you want to multiply the x to the -3x. X to the -3, I should say. And that's going to give me a -3x. And then you're going to multiply the 5 through. So the 5, notice how that's going to be the inside terms. 5 times x is going to be this 5x. And then you're going to be multiplying what's called the last terms. So the 5 and the -3 would be considered the last terms. So 5 times -3 would give us then this -15. So notice how again the linear terms are alike. So this x squared comes down, positive 2x comes down, and a -15 comes down. So since we're really not carrying everything, notice how we've been adding from left to right, not right to left, because there's no carrying over in this type of math. So again, f stands for the first terms, which would be this x and this x. The outer terms are the outside terms, so the x and -3, that would be your next move. And then the inner terms, the 5 and the x are the inner terms. And then the 5 times -3 gives you the -15. That would be the last terms. And that's another way you can multiply a binomial times a binomial.